Okay, what we have here today is a Weedeater gas weed trimmer. Um, it is an older model. I've had it for quite some time and I haven't done a darn thing to it. So what has happened to it is I would start it up to weed eat in the summer, and it would run for about 5 minutes. It would start up fine, idle fine, and go. And really, when I weed eat, I just let it sit on idle and cut the grass, trim the grass that way. But it would run for about 5 minutes, and then it would start to die out. And once it died out, you just could not get it started. So I'm going to do a series of videos here and try to figure out what's wrong with this thing. Probably a carb clean and clean out the air filter. The air filter is here on the side and the carb is underneath that. What I'm going to do is take that apart and see if we can find out what the actual part number for that carb is, because there's 3 or 4 that are very similar, and that way I can order a carb diaphragm kit and gasket kit and replace that, and then hopefully we'll be good. Oh, and one other thing we got wrong with it, it leaks gas. You can see all this stuff down here where it's all wet. I don't know, it's leaked gas for a long time, so I'll be taking the gas tank off and figuring out if it's actually a crack in the tank, or if I got a hose that's loose or what. But probably maybe take a look at the spark arrestor in the back too and see what's up with it. So it's a little cold outside, so we're working in the basement, and we'll keep you updated. Okay, so I got the 2 screws out of the air filter here, and you take that off of there, and the air filter's right there. And it really, for it being as old as it is, it actually looks pretty good, I think. I get some of that dirt off of there, but I really don't have to rinse it out with gas or anything, I don't think. So that don't look too bad in there. So the light's not all that great. Next is to get to the carburetor. Got a couple screws in here that I know I'm going to need to take out. And then I think that faceplate just comes off of there, and we'll see what's underneath. Well, the 2 screws came out of there, and make sure that you note the top one has a compression type washer on it. But what I didn't realize was once I took those off, that faceplate would come out. I didn't think they were that long. I just figured it was just to take this faceplate off, but heck, the whole carburetor, I unhooked that cable and the hoses on there, and that carburetor's completely off of there, which was kind of surprising that 2 bolts takes care of everything. So this is kind of neat. I didn't realize, I guess, how the choke worked. That little switch there goes and rotates that on that nut and opens and closes that hole for the air to get into the carburetor. I guess I knew it worked, but I never really paid attention to probably how it works, so that's kind of neat. Okay, so the carb is off there. Those fuel lines were so freaking brittle. I mean, they just snapped off of there. So you can see where they go on there. And then here on the tank, I mean, look at that. That just completely came apart, and they snapped in half. I mean, it was just, that was probably where my fuel line leak was. But that could be the problem with why it wasn't running, was the fact that the fuel lines were cracked and it was getting air in it instead of gasoline.